I spent like 40 years in the deserts of Israel and Jordan doing hardcore desert archaeology. And then after 40 years, I saw the light and I became a marine archaeologist. So I did the course that you guys are doing with Christian McDonald, the science diving course, like 2 years ago. And a couple years ago, I did I led the first, hello, בוקר טוב.
בוקר טוב.
מה קרה לכם? מה זה? זה באיחור. Okay, so these are Israeli colleagues, Professor Gil Gambash, Professor Asaf Yasur Landau, Amir Yorman, and a chief science diving officer from Haifa, and Moshiko Bahar, also a diving officer from Haifa. And these are the hardcore Israeli team, and my good friends and colleagues. And so well, these two guys are going to actually be overseeing the diving and making sure it's safe. And they're here to interact with Christian McDonald. And so we're really building the first hardcore, rigorous marine archaeology program around, I think. And it's going to be at the highest level. So we do, as you know, especially the graduate students, and we do really good scientific investigations of the oceans. We do, like, one of my things is cyber archaeology, which is the marriage of computer science, engineering, and natural sciences with archaeology, so the digital archaeology. These guys are masters of actual marine archaeology, digging underwater. And how do you do it? And so this is a marriage made in heaven, right? We think so, right? So Haifa, University of Haifa, University of California, San Diego, it's going to be great. And so maybe, Asaf, you can tell the group, we already did intros, you'll meet them more personally later.
Absolutely.
But maybe you could tell them what the project culturally is all about, historically.
Do you want me to connect to the projector? Or
No, we're just going to do it like this.
Okay, sounds good.
You talk with your hands.
Do it like a rabbit or something. Good. First of all, what a pleasure seeing you all, and I can't wait to dive with you very soon at Dor. What we do is we work on a 3,000-year-old anchorage that worked as an anchorage even before, but something like 3,000 years ago, they began to build monumental architecture that will be used as malls and quays, etc. Later, sea level changes as well as changes in harbor technology have transformed the use patterns of this harbor. So basically what we're trying to find out is changes in harbor technology. The second thing is interaction between humans and the sea in connection to sea level changes, climate change, as well as political changes. So basically this is a test case to understand how human civilization works together with the sea in changing conditions, both of climate, but also of political circumstances and also of economic circumstances. And of course, as you mentioned probably before, the name of the site is Tel Dor, and it is located halfway between Tel Aviv and Haifa on the coast of Israel.
How cold is the water there?
The water are incredibly warm. I mean, I think it's going to be, by the time that you're here, I mean, something like 28 degrees perhaps.
Yeah.
Which is what, like over 80 degrees centigrade?
It's toasty. I mean,
It's toasty. It's so nice and clear.
This is a good sign of it. The bad side of this period is the jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
But last year we didn't have jellyfish. I mean, they went elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wear. Everybody's gonna have a very light 3mm wetsuit, so you don't get stunned or scratched, right?
But in the last 2 years we didn't have jellyfish, so maybe, I don't know.
You can never know.
So Asaf is a professor of archaeology and at the University of Haifa, and Gil is a professor of ancient history. And Gil, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the group what's your job at the university and how you're connected with our group.
So allow me to second my colleague Asaf and say how great it is to be here. If this is a marriage made in heaven, this is heaven. It's very good to be in San Diego. After having visited, hosted a delegation from your side in our place in pre-preparation, and looking forward to July, all of us. As Tom says, I'm an ancient historian, but I'm here also under a more, let's call it, formal bureaucratic capacity as the chair of the Department of Maritime Civilizations, which is in charge of the MA study program that is actually running field school, and the students who are going to be in the water and in the field with you. A similar number, not exactly a similar profile, we'll be talking about them, but like you, they're coming from various backgrounds. So this is one aspect, and perhaps the leading aspect, because we are talking here about a training course for elementary underwater archaeology that goes the same for you and for us. We are all achieving a certain level of preparation towards it, you on your end, and we are doing our own preparations, and then the idea is to bring all of us to the same level and get into the water together, 1st of July or shortly thereafter. The other aspect of my job, I guess Tom referred to that, other than the books I'm writing, is the Institute for Maritime Studies. It's called the Recanati Institute for Maritime Studies, sometimes known for short as RIMS. This is a proper research institute. I think you can imagine the parallels here in San Diego and University with Scripps. And this is the field logistical arm of our researchers, especially in the Department of Maritime Civilizations, which holds all of our resources, capabilities, facilities for conducting all sorts of field activities. One of the more elaborate of those is underwater archaeology and other things. And under this capacity, I work with Amir Yoman and with Moshiko Bachar, who are our leading maritime officers, underwater sailing, cruising, etc. So in such an operation, obviously, where students meet facilities and resources, we have to bring both department and institute into the field. We have, as Tom says, tons of experience in that, even though we keep innovating. So many of the things, even in your field school, that we will be doing may be happening for the first time. We may be operating a platform for the first time. We may be using an inside container for compressing the tanks. That is not the first time we're doing it, but maybe the first time in Dor. So we will have to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is so exciting. I mean, maybe Amir, you're the one who organizes the actual like scuba diving expedition for the teams. How many expeditions have you, underwater archaeology expeditions, have you been involved in, and what goes into the container? I mean, what is a container? I know. Pedagogy.
First of all, good morning. Pleasure to be here. Together with Moshiko, okay, we are a kind of team. So we are giving the marine services and diving service for range activities, not only in archaeology, and different depths. Actually, are these guys going to be tomorrow in the seminar?
Well, no.
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 Okay.
Friday, you're invited to an all-day seminar on marine archaeology.
Oh, it's Friday, sorry.
At Scripps. We can send you the flyer, I mean the schedule. It starts at 9 o'clock till 5:30. Go ahead, sorry.
So I'm going to talk there a bit about the specific situations we have in archaeological sites underwater in Israel that are in shallow water, and all the challenges we have in shallow water. So Moshiko and I were actually building and arranging all the structure, all the technologistic, not only being a diving officers, and all the needs to run this kind of expeditions. And we have ability to arrange these containers, containers that are being shipped on a ship, okay? So we have these containers that are actually built by us in order to give all the solution for the research and the students.
It's like, 20 feet long, 10 feet wide. They put them on ships, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a room inside. Right?
Yeah, and we actually can send it anywhere in the world. We just need water and electricity, and it can work anywhere in the world. And sometimes we go on, you just saw the map.
Yeah.
On places, even Israel is very small. Some places there is no electricity on the beach, so we can just bring a big generator to run the compressors, the electricity on this camp. And even though Israel is very small, we have several sites, and every site has its own different technologistic, its own different needs according to the expedition, of course. And it's a new challenge every time. And part of the job, beyond doing the science underwater, is the whole technologistic around. And for some people it's a headache, for some people it's a challenge, but I guess if you'll have fun.
And you make it safe. That's the number one thing. Asaf, do you want to add something?
I want you guys to keep the standard and keep the statistic on 0.
The statistics are good, right?
I've been running for about 40 expeditions, 40 to 50. And touch wood.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Thank God.
It's not like we're superstitious or something. Anyway,
Just say.
it's in Israel. Underwater archaeology has a lot of heritage. Something like, I think, 60 years almost. And basically we are now the third generation of people that are doing it. Elizabeth knows very well. She was in the department almost in the last millennium, I would say.
Right.
Amir found her old wetsuit.
Amir gave me my license. My two kohabim, my 2 stars diving license.
I get it.
Yes,
You
you
earned
didn't
it.
remember
He
that.
didn't give it to you.
No, I mean, no. He's certified. You don't
Now we have who to blame.
He doesn't remember. Look at this.
In the last millennium we made.
The last millennium.
Oh, wow. Huh? Yeah, look, it says A.
Wow.
Newman.
This is totally tradition.
Wow.
There you go.
You wanna say something? Oh,
He's holding on to that
Oh.
forever.
1 second, I'll show
Okay,
you.
Jen,
Anyway.
go.
Yes, I saw the last generation.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that we have a lot of experience in looking at things underwater and trying to do archaeology, which is interesting. And now together with scripts, it's going to be much more interdisciplinary and much more attuned to things that are connected to all of us. Doesn't matter where in the globe that is, how human societies actually develop and work together. So, what we'll try also, besides doing science, and besides, of course, learning, is that you will have fun, because above all, this is exploration, guys. You're going to see things that nobody have seen in the last 3,000 years. I mean, you're going to find pieces of pottery that were on Egyptian boats that left Egypt 3,000 years ago. Okay, and you're going to be the first people to find it, and it's going to be amazing. So, besides the part that you're going to be examined and have to learn, have to pay attention and dive safely. I have to stress the fact that it's absolutely fun and exciting, and we are about to push the envelope of what is actually underwater archaeology of harvest. So this is exciting, and my collaboration with both Tom and Isabel is something that I'm really looking forward to this summer.
So it's going to be a great expedition, and it's, you know, we're just now building the Scripps Center of Marine Archaeology, and this is part of our emphasis on the Eastern Mediterranean. I mean, we've already started working in Greece, we're going to work in Cyprus, and Israel is really a great place to, you know, strengthen the programming and the approach and the science. So it's going to be great. And this is the beginning of a long-term research association between Haifa and UCSD. So you're going to be a part of that, and it's really great. So we're, you know, we want to make this happen at the highest level, and so we're offering, as you know, it's a competitive thing to get these grants to cover your room, board, and local travel expenses in Israel. And I think, did all of you apply for that so far? Great. Okay, everybody?
So would you like me to describe how a typical day looks like at the dig, starting from waking up, where we go?
Yeah, but I just want to, first I want to tell them what they got to do, what they expect, because I think some of them might have to leave. So so this is a huge thing, because if you go to any other field school at UCSD or other places, you're not going to have, it's rare to get an opportunity to get these kind of grants, you know, for $2,500. So the only thing you're going to need to do is get your airfare, which can be relatively like $1,400, between $1,200 to $1,400, and then the course credit, which is probably, we're working on that, right?
We're working on it, but
4 units.
We're trying to offer 4 units for the equivalent of $600 or so. So I understood, I don't know the current UCSD rates, but I understood it's competitive.
If you go to summer school, does anybody know like how much it costs to go to summer school here? And yes.
1,200.
You pay by unit.
You pay by unit, so 4 unit course.
$1,200. Okay, so we're like more than competitive, right? This is such a deal, I'm telling you. So,
but it's not a reason. But it's not a reason to come.
No, it's not a reason to come. But what I'm saying is, like, we're running the credits, and we have an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding between University of California, University of Haifa. Their credits dovetail with ours. So you take the course, the credits come from Haifa, but they're approved. They're transferred here, okay? So basically, all you got to do is get your airfare, the credits, and then on the weekends, you know. And the weekends, in the old days when I used to work in Israel, a weekend was 1 day off. But now it's like 2 days, right?
Becoming spoiled.
You're becoming spoiled.
You're
But
relaxed. I
luckily,
had
you're
just
not
1
getting
day.
fat, you know. Yeah.
I had just the 1 day.
Yeah, see, back in the good old days. But anyway, now you're going to get 2 days off, which is really great. And remember, this is, for you guys, it's a 3-week commitment, you know. So, you know, what you mentioned about the credits, it's like a 3-week class. It's too good.
So basically, I'll just follow a very basic description of how it will look like and how your typical day would look like and what to expect. First of all, it's not going to be like a Club Med vacation, okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to, it's actually, you know, you're expected to do some physical work, so just putting that on the table.
Field work.
It's field work. Underwater, you don't sweat, but it's field work. We're expected to begin work at 7 o'clock. by the water, meaning basically getting up fantastically and living. Beiton is like a hotel which is on the top of the mountain, top of the Carmel mountain, and Dor is below it, so it's like 20 minutes
Isn't
ride.
it a yoga retreat also?
It is a yoga retreat.
So, I mean, this is a cool place to be.
It is a yoga retreat.
Is yoga included?
We may ask those in the hotel if they can like give us extra activity, but I think soon you'll find out that they did.
קצת התבלבל עם יערות הכרמל עליי, לא?
No.
אבל יש שם
יש שם yoga.
You'll be doing the downward dog digging underwater.
This is
You might get tired, right?
Exactly. So getting up, making sure that everybody going to be on a bus on the other transportation by something like 6 o'clock, and then getting ready, waking up, doing the 25 minutes drive, and then we load the equipment, and then we begin to work by shifts. Okay, every time there's going to be something like 4 people in the water, working for something between 45 and 1 hour, going out, having something warm or cold to drink, resting a bit in the shade, then waiting for the next shift, etc. So we would usually expect something between 2 and 3 shifts a day, depends on sea conditions. What do we-
That's like 3 dives.
Yeah, 2 to 3 dives per day. Is this physically exhausting? Depends. If you pass the scientific diving, that should be manageable. If you feel tired, just let us know. Immediately after, yes please,
Will they get breakfast?
at certain point, absolutely, yeah.
Certain points 4 p.m.
Yeah, there's going to be we'll try to get you like bread and other things in the room, so you can have like a small sandwich before you leave. Then around 8 o'clock you're going to have like breakfast on the side, you know, not above water of course.
Israeli breakfast.
Right, and then you're going to have like coffee and tea throughout the day served, and it's going to be lovely. There's going to be a nice person to take care of you, and you know, to make sure that you're going to get enough coffee and tea, so you'll survive. Depending on sea conditions, if sea conditions will be good, we'll keep working until sea conditions will allow us. Usually we close around 2 o'clock. Then we are going and having lunch. It's possible that lunch will be delivered to us, or we're going to have lunch at Beit Oren. We'll return and have lunch there. Then there's going to be a short afternoon break of an hour and a half or 2 hours. Then we're going to do pottery reading. Then we're going to do workshops. Then we're going to do lectures. Then at 7 o'clock there's going to be dinner, and then you'll have as much time that you want until you like collapse exhausted on your beds and ready to start another day, which is great. I mean, it's like the best.